Right. Well, what sort of surprised me is that you have 3 gigs in Tokyo, which is quite a lot actually for a foreign act. I mean, were you surprised by this, or is this natural play like?
I believe that some of them were added, wasn't there? I'm not sure. So.
I think one date here was.
One date was added.
Man, it just surprised me for one act to have that many
It was
gigs.
a lot of fun last night.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
By the time we finished, everybody was standing up in front of the stage, smashing on the stage. I hear they're not usually doing that here.
They're doing it these days, kind of. But it all depends on the act. They're honest. When they like an act,
Yeah.
they go nuts. So they like
Great.
it. They like
All
it.
right.
What'd you think of them? I mean,
I love them.
how do they
Sure.
compare with other fans around?
Man, I don't compare them. They're just all fine.
I talked to John Hammond a
Wow.
little while back, and he's very impressed with you.
I'm impressed with him.
How much does he have to do with the development of your career?
A lot. Just by being himself.
Oh, yeah?
He lets us be us. You know, he lets us be ourselves, and that's really important to us.
He says that you wanted to work with him.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because of God, look who he is. Look what he does. I mean, when I say who he is, I don't mean his name so much as how he works with his people. He helps them bring the most out of themselves, as opposed to trying to change them.
And had you listened to a lot of his acts he'd done before then?
Well, Count Basie, Duke Ellington, Aretha Franklin.
You're a big
John
jazz
Wilson.
soul fan then, right?
Yeah, sure.
How did you enlist the good services of Tom and Chris here?
Well, he pulled a gun on me.
Little black man.
Oh, I've known Tommy for years and years. We met about 15 years ago.
Is that right?
His first day back from after he had quit working with Johnny Winter, they were going to California. He stopped into Dallas and came in to see us.
This club called The Fog in Dallas. And once again, I was walking down the sidewalk.
Go ahead, Tommy.
I heard this guitar player. Who the hell is that? I went inside. It was Stevie, this little squirt thing. He was about
That's 14.
a short guy. He was great then, too.
And you haven't been working together ever since, though. That's just a
Off and on. It's been solid for the last 4 years.
And how about Chris?
For 7. Go ahead.
My roommate they were playing in a band together, and I went with them one night to the show. Their drummer was a sheetrocker, and he'd like take naps and stuff anyway, overslept, and they needed to start the show, so I jumped up there and played the first set with them. I hadn't even met Stevie then. But then,
Funny, we played together before we were met.
Yeah, and then later on we met in my kitchen. I was playing drums, and he walked in. I was like,
Yeah, great. And set up your drums in your kitchen. Sounds right to me.
I'm sure things have changed a lot since then, with you guys traveling all over the world now.
Yeah. Well,
we don't have kitchens.
Some things change, but you know, we pride ourselves That's probably the wrong way to say it. But take pride in pretty much have stayed the same as people. And that's really a good thing for us.
Come to think of it, you are one of the few acts, one of the few blues acts actually making it these days. Why do you think that is?
It's our turn.
Think it's as easy as that?
Yeah.
It's always going to be there.
Yeah. It was our turn. It'll be somebody else's turn someday. We had the right. Things happen the right way, the right times. The right people helped set it up for us. By doing their things. It just so happened that it was our turn.
What kind of breaks did you get? What were they?
Well, God, Rolling Stones liking us, and John Hammond liking us, and David Bowie liking us, and Jackson Browne liking us. A lot of the original blues people that started this music in the first place liked us a lot and talked about us. Just us trying to be honest with our music and what we're trying to do, keep going, and it pays off.
How big do you think you'll get?
Oh.
How about 180? You will.
No, I'm just kidding. Finish the sandwich and I'll let you know.
Right, exactly. Well, what type of things do you strive for? What kind of things are you looking for in the future?
Better sound.
Keep getting better musically and take it around the world, hopefully.
Yeah.
Think you can get any better, though?
Sure. If I quit getting better,
You gotta get worse. You can't get better.
If I stop improving, I'll quit.
In what ways are you improving, though? It's kind of a vague question.
Trying in here.
it gets better as you get older. You don't stale.
Not yet.
But have you heard people staling before though?
Yeah, you can burn out. People can burn out. Hopefully, I'm not gonna do that for a while. Let's keep trying.
People like Count Basie too, that just like go on and
Yeah,
on and on
on and on and on. Yeah, that's true.
Or UB Blake, you know.
God,
What about the people that burn out? Why do they burn out?
too much pressure. Too much pressure.
Do you feel a lot of
schedule.
pressure?
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure.
Why is that? Just because you're always going around seeing different people?
To keep going. There's pressure to keep going. You know? A lot of times people don't pay attention that musicians are human. You know, they try to treat them like a robot. You know, or they take it. You know, if they're workaholics, they do it.
Kind of like donkeys with carrots.
I think too, some people that at a point that just doesn't mean enough to them to try to keep fresh, you know, and they kind of lose that interest in some people, you know, they just kind of like, a lot of different things that would make somebody just kind of stale out on something.
You spent a long time paying your dues, as they say. I mean, from about the time, talking about meeting when you were 14 years old, I mean, you were playing before that, though, right? And just small clubs, little no-paying gigs for years and years, right? Do you think that has anything to do with your idea towards music, towards being a professional?
Sure.
Art.
It has a lot to do with the way we listen to what we play and what other people play. Because we still go back into a club situation. It's just as real now as it ever has been. Even though it's because there's more people in the club, still it's this feeling. It's just striving to make it the best music we possibly can.
What makes it worth it? Is it the people or the music itself, or
all of that?
Got this one moving, but this one isn't.
You can't separate a lot of that. You really can't.
Do you pay a lot of attention to the audience, or you're just lost in the music?
Sure. Well, you get lost in the music and the people. That's one of those things I can't really separate. So,
yeah.
Because we play to them, and they react to us. And we react to them, and they react to us. It's like it's the wrong word, but it's a vicious circle. But it's a good kind of vicious that don't bite.
Tom, you've had a long career. Then you said you're playing with Johnny Winter before. Who other people have you played with?
I played on Edgar Winter's first album on Tobacco Road, and played Woodstock.
Who were you playing with?
Johnny Winter.
Oh, you're playing.
And I had good
jam with Hendrix a lot.
I had good fortune to jam with a lot of people, like Muddy Waters, one time, which kind of reborn me.
Is it that different to play with a guy like that?
Huh?
Is it that different to play with a guy like that?
Damn right.
Because, to the ears of the non-musician, you can't really appreciate Muddy Waters as much as you can a Stevie Ray Vaughan or Jimi Hendrix. To tell you the truth, I mean, from an amateur's point of view, like myself. But to a musician like yourself, it is a big difference.
It was incredible.
Is that right?
Yeah, the feeling of it's on the stage.
Just stand up there. Even if he looked over at you and just smiled, it was like, man.
It's true.
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Which way?
It's true.
No, it was great.
I get one of the bites off that one just a bite. It looked good. Looking good.
That's your salt, man.
No.
This is your first real unit, though, right? Before you were always sort of like a back musician, whereas Double Trouble is an actual unit, though, right?
Yeah. It's actually unit.
You've been unitized.
Ever since.
How does it feel like playing with this band as opposed to the ones in the past?
Well, I feel like I'm a lot better now. Plus, this is the best band I've ever played in my life. I mean, everything about it is.
Thanks, Tommy.
Wow, we can imitate you. No, it's.
Have your machine come on machine?
No, it's for me. It's a perfect gig. It really is.
How do these guys compare with the other guys you played with in the past? Like, do you feel closer?
Well, I don't like to compare people. Like Johnny Winter and Uncle John. They're very close friends, and I love him.
Who's Uncle John?
He was the drummer.
Oh.
It was a trio too.
Oh, I see.
Three-piece white trio, playing blues. And it's just at this point in my life, this is where I belong. This is the best place on earth I could be is this band.
I'm sure this is the most you've ever traveled, right?
Yeah, I guess.